No experts, no insiders, just fans.
The longest running weekly overproduced, under-talented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast.
Nigga, please.
He's an angry elf.
Your mom goes to college.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Smackdown. It is the show that reacts to the good WWE product, not the necessarily the great one, like NXT tends to often be. But I'm going right the fuck into it. This is Adam Bomb. This is episode number 332. I just want to completely bring in the fact that it's just better than Monday nights. It's like somebody loses their brain and then suddenly gets it together. Kevin, that's a good segue to you. Shit in the middle, back in the studio. Same shirt, different day. What's going on?
Are you kidding me? I wore this shirt because I've never worn it before. Every week this has to be an issue. At least today we have Darth Sidious over here blocking the view of my shirt and everything.
Oh, this is one of those Medines where days where Medine tries to be Slim Shady or some shit.
No, my initials are M&M. I am Slim, and I got a cat named Shady. That's where it ends.
That's a lot. I never knew any of that.
What
I
the
knew
fuck do you
MM.
want?
He's probably correcting you for some error that you've already made.
Joining us on the board, just to let you know, let's see who it is. It's going to be Captain Obvious, Alex Carter's there, Bang Bus GM, Double G Gaming, hello Birdo, Teddy Two Stone Heart. This might be his farewell episode because he is getting ready to go to Amsterdam, and I'm just betting he's never coming back.
Oh.
Also on the board, Perfect 11, a
Good
Stike
riddance.
Leather. No good riddance. We need Teddy. Everybody needs Teddy.
I like Teddy.
I don't need Teddy. He's the first one who criticized my shirts.
What?
This is an awesome shirt, I have to say. Have you seen the pockets on it?
I can't
Is
say
it
that
though?
I've seen that
Is
shirt
it though?
before.
I still think that you should go and get a
Has
new wardrobe.
Sideways pocket.
And I think you should go to collarandelbowbrand.com to get that new wardrobe. And if you listen to me, I'll save you 10% because at checkout, you use the code marked out, all caps, one word, marked out at checkout. That promo code will get you 10% off. And you can start, looking like a normal person instead of what you do now, Kevin.
Whatever.
That's your comeback? Whatever?
That's all I need. I'm happy. I'm ready for a fight tonight. Not going to waste it right now. Sit next to me. It's getting cold over here.
What you need to make a good smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
All right, so our 3 key ingredients tonight are kind of 4 key ingredients, if you will. Number 1, super consequences. Number 2, Rusev Day isn't tomorrow. Number 3, call me queen, bitch. And number 4 is our super roundup. You ready, Kevin?
No.
Number 1, Stike on the board says, Adam put Kevin through a table. Actually, Kevin's put me through a table.
And he
You
no-sold
can
it.
find that on YouTube. Well, it was Kevin. Oh, why would I sell that, Medine? Topic number 1.
The greatest moment of my life.
Super consequences. Super consequences. We're going to talk about the Super Showdown match that was made tonight between Daniel Bryan and Miz. We've talked about this a lot, Kevin. You tried to take some fucking credit for it. That the belt would be added to the Miz-Daniel Bryan feud at some point. And this is the perfect time because they're going to take a break from it, and it'll let it go for, I guess, a few months, kind of prolong the Miz-Bryan feud and bring the belt in. Like you said, no matter who gets the belt, I think Daniel Bryan is going to fight Samoa Joe. I think AJ is going to fight The Miz. So before we get into what happened tonight, my thing, Kevin, is I think whichever match goes first is at Super Showdown is going to give away who's going to get the belt and where the direction is going, because I don't think they're going to break face, or heel. I think they're going to have to do one versus the other.
I mean, I agree with you for that. I just don't see Daniel Bryan winning. I don't see where the story goes. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think he's going to win. That's what I'm saying, because
yeah.
Joe is also going to get fucked again.
Oh, of course. He's going to get the Nakamura treatment.
That's a topic that we'll talk about. Well, it's not a topic. It'll be part of the Super Roundup. But number one, Super Consequences here. We get a number one contender match. So no matter what, Miz or Daniel Bryan is entering the title picture after this. Miz TV, Medine, you got faked. Who's the guest going to be? Well, it's his wife, Maryse.
That was so funny.
I thought he was going to bring out somebody legitimate.
Why? Why would you think that? He one time introduced himself
as a guest.
Okay, he made it sound like he was going to have Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair's like wrestling kayfabe love child on the show, and it turned out he was his own guest.
Well, it's because he does such a good job of, as you said, Kevin, working the crowd. He worked me. I was like, oh, okay, somebody legit's coming out that hasn't been out. He pulled strings. He had to go to the ends of the earth to get this person on the show, and then his wife comes strutting out.
Well, now also, you want to talk about working the crowd. You forgot one of the big points. He says, doesn't she look great for having a baby after 5 months? He goes, I think some of the people out here tonight had babies 30 and 40 years ago.
Still recovering.
And still trying to recover.
The best part about him, though, is that if the crowd doesn't react loud enough, he'll just repeat what he says just to get him to boo louder.
Really?
And then he'll do it again.
Really?
I love it.
Really? I don't know if you remember his character when he was doing that, but
yeah. I thought you were doing it to me. I was like,
no. Maryse did it tonight. That's why it was a little throwback. She did it to him.
Yeah.
And his reaction was kind of funny. I like the whole open. I like that Daniel Bryan, keeps chasing. Medine, you talked about that he has to win the contendership to give him some nod in this feud. No, he has to keep chasing. I bet he doesn't win until Mania.
I really hope not, because I just feel like the audience is not going to have the capacity of attention to keep that long. It's just Miz can only carry it so far. There has to be a bump in the road for the heel.
Well, and that's why Daniel Bryan is going to get, maybe while Daniel Bryan's away from Miz, he wins all his matches. While whoever is going after the title, whether it be from AJ or Joe, maybe that's where Daniel gets a lot of victories.
I see Daniel beating the Miz at Super Showdown and Joe beating AJ.
But do you agree with me that there's no way that the opposite happens, that it ends up being like Daniel Bryan versus AJ or Miz versus Joe?
Yeah, they're not going to have face, heel. No.
Right. So whichever match is on first is going to reveal,
dictate the winner later.
That's the one problem I have with it.
It is a problem.
It brings the telegraph. Let's see. Bryan versus Joe at Saudi, November 2nd. That's what Double G Gaming is saying. Again, it could happen. I just think whichever match comes first is going to give it away. Captain Obvious says he knew it was Maryse all along. And Stike says, same thing. When she didn't come out with him, she had to be the guest. Miz screws him out of it, so they're going to put the U.S. title on Daniel Bryan as a stall. That's a horrible idea that Bang Bus is suggesting there. I just wanted to share it because it was definitely friggin' horrible. Bang Bus, get your shit together.
Number two.
I don't care what anyone thinks. This is one of my more clever titles that I came up with. Rusev Day is not tomorrow. You know how I know? Because Aiden English just, if there was a nail and a coffin, it's in now. The fans cheered for him. I thought you guys, one of you made a comment when he did his final Rusev Day entrance there that it was half-hearted.
Yeah.
That it wasn't full on. It was just okay.
And he even sold it as like a half-hearted, his facial expression.
The rhythm was off. He didn't have the same excitement even the crowd could sense that, and they were half-assed when they were responding.
I mean, the one swerve, I think, is that Rusev not letting Lana or Aiden explain themselves. I was like, great. This is going to play out for a few more weeks. They're not going to
I thought
reveal
the same thing.
And then he just, fuck it, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off kind of thing. And he gets in, Poetic Justice knocking the Rusev Day label off the mic as he beat him with it.
That was so perfect. Do you think that it had to have been planned?
Absolutely.
Oh,
It's a
totally.
great observation by you, too, Adam.
Yeah, totally. It was probably the one good job by Kerwin in the truck tonight to get that prop ready and make sure it was in the frame and everything was lined up. It was a good work because also everybody, I don't know, I could be wrong. Hacksaw Jim Duggan had his 2x4. You had Triple H had his sledgehammer. You know, maybe not everybody came down like Hacksaw carrying their weapon. Regal had the Nux. But everybody had their so-called weapon of choice that they would use. Barbed wire baseball bat was long before it was Negan. It was Mick Foley. Stuff like that you had in there. Did anyone ever have a microphone as their weapon? Jimmy Hart had the megaphone, but a microphone.
It's been used as a weapon, but I don't know if it's a primary weapon.
That's what I'm thinking. And because of he is the singer, I think it's a great little weapon. You know, you've had a couple guys with the guitars, and everybody's had their signature weapons along the way. I don't think anyone's ever had the microphone as a true signature weapon. Kerwin being manhandled by Orton tonight. Oh, Alex Carter says, did they say his name? Was that actually Kerwin? I would love if that was Kerwin. I don't know that it was. Mr. Kennedy used a microphone at him. No, it went back up to the ceiling.
It did.
He never used it as a weapon. He had clearly it came down, but he let it go back up to the ceiling. I think you're both wrong there.
The best part too is
they're saying he used it many times. Yeah, but I don't know.
I feel like Aiden established it as a legitimate weapon too, but he just beat the ever-loving shit out of Rusev.
Yeah,
I did not see that coming.
I didn't see it escalating as quickly as it did.
And that was the best part of it.
Yeah, kind of out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, this is going to be drawn out now.
Maybe he pushes him and then apologizes.
Like I was upset that it was only Lana that heard him. You know, when he did his little rant backstage. But nope, good payoff. I don't have much else to say about this topic, so it's a rarity here.
Who said they
Number
off?
3.
But the women get a segment, and this one is called Call Me Queen. Somebody on the board said earlier, I don't remember who it was because I'm not going to scroll back and look, but why not do the double turn the way it seems to be here? Like Stone Cold and Brett, there's been a lot of comparison to Becky Lynch, acting very Stone Cold-esque in the way she was received, not necessarily in the way she's acted, the way JR said, but in the way she was received. I don't, and Medina, I'm going to cut to you on this. I don't like fucking Charlotte as a face anyway.
No.
So I think her promo was goddamn awful tonight, and it was because it was a forced face promo. She's best when she's smug, just like her father. I know the comparison there, but you can't have her go, oh, I was trying to be respectful and come out and tell you won. No, that doesn't work for you.
The problem here, though, is that the crowd, they're behind Becky, but Becky has changed her image to fit the heel role. And so
But she
turn.
delayed the full heel turn.
No, she
She went like 95%.
Yeah, that's almost turning all the way. That's like a 270-degree.
Kevin, help me out. You're
I don't
math.
think she has
95%. Just before you go into it, 95% is not the same as 100, right?
I agree.
I mean, we don't need to check with Steiner on this
we
one.
might have
So,
to check.
Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance.
And you get Kevin's opinion. What is it, Kevin?
If she had gone full, okay, you play that and then you make me forget my thought. If she had gone full heel, then she would have kept criticizing the crowd like she did that first promo where you thought she was going to turn heel,
Right.
and the crowd didn't care.
Yeah, there was that Becky 316 sign in the crowd. is what Stike wants to point out.
And so that's what I like. I mean, she's just being essentially a badass when it comes to Charlotte.
Well,
She's
it's not just
criticizing
that.
the crowd.
She said, "I'm better than the locker room. I just want to look one in the face."
And she talked about the
Stone Cold, when he was a face, walked around and said, "I'm the loner. Doesn't matter." He just got cheers. He acted like a heel. She's acting a little bit like a heel, but her reception is full on face. That's where the comparison comes. That's why people are now hanging out signs.
promo work is excellent, though.
WWE fan 14 is joining us. He says they're going to have a pillow match. No.
This is not 2007.
And Berto, thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
He says, wait for Charlotte to win the title again and get it back from Becky.
No, we don't want to see that either.
I don't want to, but as soon as she becomes the full heel, as soon as Charlotte turns full heel, she'll get it. He's right. She'll get it. No question.
Who's to say that she will?
I just said that. I'm the one who says it. That's all that
You
matters.
think she's going to turn full heel?
I think that I don't know if they're going to do it as obviously as the Brett and Stone Cold, and if everybody's just drawing parallels and picking a spot in wrestling history. I think Charlotte is so much better as a heel and needs to. Therefore, I'm saying they will. And Becky, the reception she's getting is like the opposite of every reception Kevin's ever received.
She's got to go. They've got to do something similar to Brett and Stone Cold.
People love when I walk in the room.
What's your opinion on this so I can move on, Kevin?
I like the idea of Charlotte going
like
full
it.
on heel because I think it gives this rivalry legs to probably go on. That the two of them could go into a separate feuds
Legs,
and then come
it
back.
just is. Out of all the feuds, this feud just started.
And this is the best feud
Carmella was
that they have
champ
going.
like less than 2 months ago. This one's just picked up.
it's-
You're talking about adding legs to it. It's in fucking chapter 3.
It's gonna
There's.
It's gonna be going on what, almost 3 months?
I think it's going to go to Royal Rumble, and then you're going to start to build for Charlotte and Rousey from there to Mania or something. Maybe there's a little,
I forgot about
maybe
that.
a little further. I know Asuka won't be involved.
Well, how are they going to do Survivor Series?
Who cares?
Because it's going to be the 4.
They'll do a 6-women tag
Horsewoman.
match, and they'll only make it one pinfall because.
Or they do a Raw SmackDown thing like they did last year.
Oh yeah, 5-on-5. That's what they'll do. Medine wins.
4.
Number 4, Super Roundup. Super Roundup, I just want to read real quickly the card for the Super Showdown now that there are 9 matches involved in it. And we can just, decide if we want to talk about some at length or not. Doesn't matter. Of course, the show is taking place over
Melbourne?
over the pond. Pond would be
no.
England. What the hell do you call it when you go to Australia?
I don't know. It's going down under
Oh, that's what it is. It's going down under.
Like the Rescuers.
in Melbourne.
Like Kevin. Asuka and Naomi are going to fight the Iconics in their own backyard. That's a weird booking. There's 3 women's matches on the card, by the way. 2 tag ones. One, that tag match, Asuka and Naomi versus the Iconics. Great. What's better than a regular tag match with women? Of course, a 6-person tag match with women. So we got the Riot Squad taking on.
Oh, that's right.
Who do we have to have on the? Let's just put the Bellas and Ronda Rousey there because that makes perfect sense. That way we can set up the Nikki Bella Ronda Rousey at Evolution. That's probably going to happen.
I bet Ronda Rousey will get mad.
Yeah, I bet so.
Just going to take a guess there.
I'm getting mad just because you're talking. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. That's going to happen again, and it's going to happen at the Super Showdown. So those are the 3 women's matches. Now here comes the great matches. Well, I should have. I don't mean the sarcasm on this first
You
one.
sound like me right now reading these matches.
I am looking
That's what they're
forward
talking
to
about, too.
Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight title. Their first match, I don't think this is a rubber match. I think this is the second one. But the first one they had for the title on 205 Live, Cedric won. It was a great match. I'd like to see them try to eclipse what they did in the first one. So I am actually excited for that one. This one,
Wait, what's 205 Live?
Cedric and Buddy Murphy. Shut up. New Day versus The Bar for the tag titles. How about that one, Medine?
New Day and Bar.
The Bar. They haven't fought like multiple times in 2 years.
The worst part.
I'm hearing that there's going to be multiple title changes down under.
There's only 4 on the card that are even being contested.
Right. So
Because don't forget the other match, Drew, Dolph, Braun
is not
are
involved
fighting
in
the
title.
Shield.
Right.
So that holds up your tag titles,
And
your
your
heavyweight,
IC.
and your IC.
Right. So I could see the Bar being victorious down under.
But then what about this one? Okay, this is a great booking. Elias and KO taking on Bobby Lashley and
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, John Cena. What?
Wait, what?
Why?
Really? I missed that one.
Even Sierra Ann is confused over here. Now joining us. I love the syrup. He says AJ just accidentally ate it in the mixed match challenge. I don't
Yeah.
know. Nobody's watching it.
I am.
Medine was.
I am.
Love the
Okay,
Mixed Match
great.
Challenge. I'm gonna
So
watch
I don't
it
know why
tomorrow.
Cena and Lashley are there. That makes no sense. Speaking of doesn't make sense.
They were both they were both Marines, or they were both
Sure.
in the Army.
D-Generation X is taking on the Brothers of Destruction.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Well,
is it just one in the corner?
It's Triple H with Shawn Michaels in his corner, and it's Undertaker with Kane in his corner. So
I
the
think
last.
we're gonna get
so
one
wait,
last
wait,
super kick.
wait. So by the way, let me get this straight. This is supposed to be the last time ever, but it clearly, now that they're adding other pieces, is probably building to a bigger thing.
Well, it may build to that tag team match later on. This may be the last time they have a one-on-one contest.
Yeah, Teddy says you're watching that because you want to watch your girl Charlotte. And Captain Obvious, I don't know what he's talking about. He says a botch making machine, and she's on Raw. Oh, because Sierra Ann off topic talking about Sasha Banks. I don't know why I read any of that. But and then the final Super Showdown thing is AJ and Joe. Here's the question there. Do they let them main event
No.
Super Showdown? AJ Styles has not main evented but once, and it wasn't even a title defense. It was just against Brock in this title reign that is gaining on 300 days. Just FYI.
I don't know. I don't think
You guys are great co-hosts, by the way.
I don't think he's
We know.
gonna. Well, the thing is, I've been getting confused with this Super
I'm not
Showdown,
surprised.
and then they have this new one in Saudi Arabia that they've been
The
already
crown
starting.
jewel.
Already
The
starting
crown
to hype.
jewel is November 2nd. Okay. Super Showdown is like October 6th. Get your head out of your ass, Kevin.
Evolution is October
So
28th.
what's the
You guys
What's the
might not have
Braun-
caught it on the show last night, but
4 pay-per-views in 45 days.
4 pay-per-views in 45 days
It's
is
way
what we're
too
into.
much.
Now, I know one is all women, and I know one is no women. But
Oh yeah, that was good.
yeah, this will make it up to them. We're going to give them their own pay-per-view, and we do it beforehand.
So is the crown jewel one the one when they have
The Crown Jew?
Jewel.
Really?
That's you.
Is that not what he said? Did he not say Crown Jew?
I think that's what you heard.
Check the tape. I'm serious. Check the tape.
Please listen to my voice.
Is that the one with the?
Take it from the wise old Jew.
Never mind.
What?
With Braun, Roman, and what's his face? The UFC guy,
Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar.
What's his face?
What's his face? The UFC guy. I can't think of a better segue.
You didn't answer my
Smackdown
question.
presents.
You're not worthy of an answer. Kevin.
Millennial Falcon.
Go ahead. Make my day.
I love the syrup over on Twitch. He says the mixed match challenge is even better than Raw.
It's true.
He actually,
It was last year too.
if I'm reading his I don't know, shorthand correctly, he says it's 4 times greater than Raw. Or either that or we're just playing charades poorly. In case you're new to the show, here is the awards we'll be handing out. It's the good award, the bad award, the glorious, the creative fail, and the LOL.
Lol.
Medine, it's good to have you back. Why don't you kick it off? What's your good?
Aw, that was almost sweet.
Almost. I'll shit on you, I'm sure, soon enough.
The good award was Becky. I was not quite convinced that she had the charisma to be an interesting champ, but so far so good.
Oh, that's loud, but you earned it. Kevin, I don't have. I don't need. I could turn it up louder for Kevin. I know he's not getting
Shut
a
up.
coin.
I thought it was very
What's
good
your
that
good?
we finally got Nakamura again, and his match was long. We had, 1 or 2 commercial breaks in between. That's okay. It was a good match. Finish was good.
Yeah, there was
I'm
very
happy.
few matches tonight.
Happy to see Nakamura.
Anaconda Vice, the closer it gets to his wedding, the more late he is. And, of course, he was fucking late. He's just arriving to the show. What are we, like, half hour into it? Good job, Vice. My good, Ms. TV. The smug way the two of them acted like they were, like, legitimately on a talk show, shitting on their opponents. And then when they did get away from the talk show theme, they started shitting on the crowd. I'm sorry. I loved every minute of it. It was definitely my good. Goods on the board. The Becky Lynch sign in the crowd for Stike. You know, Becky 316 says, I just whooped your ass. Irish girl, Becky. Of course, Teddy's just representing hometown.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Sarah Ann is talking about the Shield. She thinks it's Monday. She's having an R-Truth moment. CN versus AJ is Anaconda Vice is good. And I don't see anybody else chiming in. That's worth reading. So, but Captain Obvious, of course, has to point out something fucking obvious. Too many good names to name off, so SmackDown Live in general. That's not the game. That's the shit that Medine used to do. I'm going to give, like, tons of answers.
Oh, now Kevin does that shit all the time. So.
Oh, well, Kevin doesn't have a brain.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
You're always with the double
where
answers.
have you been?
What do you mean?
I have double answers because I can think of more than one thing that happened. 'cause
This
I
is
pay
true,
attention.
but that's not allowed-
but
that's
you're
not
supposed
allowed.
to decide.
Notes.
You disrespectful, stupid
Where are your notes?
idiot.
Here in this notebook.
Shut up.
Apparently, Anaconda Vice is trying to get a khaki short donation because he ruined 5 of them painting. I would say, why do you keep changing? Once you ruin the first one, keep wearing that same pair. Vice, call me about life. I'll help you with some of these little dilemmas. For now, we're going to go on to bad. Who kicks off bad, Medine?
Me.
Oh, that would be the shit in the middle.
I'm going to get 3 coins in a Roddy for this one. Asuka and Billy Kay.
What about him?
I just don't like this feud at all. I didn't think the Iconics gave a very good speech, promo to start the match. I didn't like the whole entrance thing. Asuka didn't give her little
Okay.
mask thing that turns me on. The match itself was kind of subpar. It ended quickly. There's just nothing that interests me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, but
And I
I'm not
love
going to
Asuka.
give you coins in a Roddy. Stike says the Iconics. Teddy says Asuka having a 2-minute match with Billy Kay and Kevin being here. So basically, Stike and Teddy say the Iconics. So does Kevin. Kevin, you get nothing. Stike and Teddy, that's for you. Medine, what's your bad?
It's unanimous on this side of the table,
Oh,
allowing the Iconics to speak.
I
No.
will give you a coin for it as well, just not Kevin.
I usually like them. They're going to get a huge pop in, like, whenever October 6th is.
Not
however
tonight,
many weeks.
Satan.
Hey, Anaconda Vice doing Excuse Mountain over there. None of that's works. Captain Obvious, his bad is no R-Truth. My bad is, and again, if this, I could unlimit, it'd be unlimited how many times I could name something bad from Raw. I'm getting really fucking nitpicky for tonight's show from my bad. And I'm kind of stealing it from Rob, who's in here watching it with us. Not closing the show with AJ and Almas is the only thing I got. That fucking finish, we didn't really talk about it, that AJ did.
That was
The counter
so
from
awesome.
the soup, what is it, the bridge pin? I'm trying to think of the moveset. The pin that he did in the bridge, then coming out of it right into the Styles Clash. Unreal. And Almas and him just have proven now that they can work together. Really good spot for Almas. But not having it close the show and Joe's attack being there. They should have switched the spots of Becky and Charlotte and that. Just switched them.
I don't know. I think I can't agree because I think Charlotte and Becky is the best feud you have going, probably in all of WWE.
Okay,
right now.
okay. I want a quick speed round. Name me your top 3 feuds right now.
Me first.
Yeah, in WWE,
It's
WWE, all
gotta
of the
be-
main roster,
it's
all of the
gotta
main
be-
roster, not NXT.
Miz and Daniel. I think they're all on
Okay,
SmackDown.
exactly. Thank you, Kevin. Just quick segue. It's Miz and AJ, or Miz and Brian, AJ and Joe, and Charlotte Becky.
Yeah.
And New Day, sometimes when they're not fighting the same recycled opponents, they're good too. Hell, I'm more interested in where Aiden and Rusev go than I am any goddamn garbage over there on Raw. And actually, the enticing idea of Dean and Drew has already gone past where it should, because they wrestled one-on-one last night. So I've already seen that. So anything that might have lured me over.
Match.
It was. But now I don't need to see it again because I've already seen it.
Yeah,
so the allure and mystique of that is lost, if you will, as well. What the fuck award are we on? Oh, it's Glorious. And I kick that one off by saying Becky Lynch. Her rhetoric, what she said tonight to Charlotte was perfect. I want you to put the belt on my waist. You know, little things like that. I want you to call me queen. Bitch. You know, just threw that in there at the end. Everything that she did, her mannerisms, the way she delivered the lines were perfect tonight. I love what they've done with Becky, and it's a very simple tweak. No more steampunk. I'm going to shake hands with everybody, but everybody in the crowd's going to love it. Kevin, Glorious.
I also gave it to Becky Lynch. I'm not going to repeat anything that you said, but I mean, just to talk again about how kind of great SmackDown has been, I wanted to give it to AJ and Almas. I was like, oh, for sure, that's going to be Glorious. And then Becky Lynch comes out.
You actually have candidates. You have to sit there and debate in your head. Who's going to get this award where it's like, well, this is the only decent thing from this 3-hour show, so I have to give it to this. And, I mean, a lot of times Brian, Rob, and I were either making fun of the awards and show at the same time, or we were all agreeing on the same things. There was no in between. And
with Becky, I really feel like she's the one carrying this whole rivalry. I mean, because you said Charlotte, of course, can't really do anything.
The whole respect angle, and that's why it came. Yeah. Sierra Ann says she likes my shirt. Okay, it's just a plain North Face shirt.
No, I'm not. That's Adam. I'm Kevin.
Nobody likes your shit.
She got us confused. She was talking about my shirt.
No. I think she's asking if we love Kofi, but she typed coffee.
This might rip.
I don't know. Medine, what's your Glorious? You're the last to go.
Back to your segue earlier, AJ Almas, specifically the counter at the end.
Wow.
But the match itself was a really good match. There were a bunch of spots that could have taken that award.
There were some really good matches tonight. Kofi, Cesaro, Knock, Rusev, and AJ Almas. None of them really have a rivalry. None of them really have a feud going, and all were right where they needed to be. So kudos on that. On the board, Anaconda Vice, Glorious's bitch. AJ Almas for Stike. Miz TV, Captain Obvious. Booking Amsterdam for Teddy. Yeah, great. Adam is Glorious for Sierra. And way to kiss the ass of the host. I like that.
That's your alternate account that you're like weaselly typing
look,
over there.
Hands free. No, you're just mad that nobody likes you. You have no fans out there in the marked out universe.
I don't care.
Huh? What was that? You don't care? I bet you care. I bet you do deep down. I bet you cry in your car the entire way home when we're done. Something like this.
I've lost a lot of things, and one of them has been my smile.
Yeah, something like that. Apparently,
that was a good one.
Apparently, Medine is going to Vice's wedding. I didn't know that. You're apparently, according to Anaconda Vice, you're going to be in attendance at his wedding in like 10 days. So we'll see you later, Medine. I guess you're going to be absent from the show for a little bit.
You're welcome.
Where's this at?
I don't know. You guys figure that shit off
right.
off air. Creative Fail, LOL. Those are our last two awards. Here's what I'm going with for Creative Fail. I've said it multiple times, so I'm not going to say any more than the statement, but Charlotte, as her promo work as a face, it's just got to go. Kevin.
No feud Nakamura and no sanity.
Ooh, no sanity. I've kind of forgotten about them. And here's the thing, though. When the show is this good, I didn't really miss them. I mean, I'm not dogging them when I say that. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, it's just.
People that weren't on the show. I didn't miss Jeff Hardy tonight, you know.
That's true. I just don't want to see the Bar in New Day again.
The Bar.
Something new.
Control. What do you got over there, Madi?
I'm going with the technical director tonight.
The technical director is the creative fail?
Yeah, because in certain moments there were Specifically, I'm thinking of the Asuka Naomi Iconics match where he pans outside to Naomi, not in time, and then misses the finish inside the ring. Kayfabe, did that have something to do with Randy going back there and terrorizing him? I don't know. That would have been good had they connected that somehow, so that's the fail.
I would have loved if it was like Kerwin White back there whenever they got there. And just a little Easter egg for everybody out there. Creative fail booking the Iconics and no Joe, Captain Obvious says. Well,
Joe came
you're
out.
half right because Joe came out for sure. They're talking about the Butler on Fresh Prince and other things now. Creative fails. Charlotte, her Face Force promo, Stike says. I agree. Like, I kind of don't know how I didn't notice it so much before tonight. But tonight it was just glaring how bad she is as a face. And either way, I am not knocking Charlotte's wrestling ability, just for everyone to be clear.
No.
That is not in contention here. Her promo work as a face is laughable, and it's not helping WWE. It's not helping the women's division. It's not helping Charlotte. Fix it. Find a way to fix it.
You can even see, I mean, AJ pretty much says the same things, but he delivers it so much better than she does.
Right, like something I would say versus something you would say. It's the exact same scenario.
Hey, you're
LOL,
funny.
Medine. What is
LOL.
LOL
Adam's
for you?
Jokes.
Rusev is
I'm on fire, man.
Rusev's going to be put on Mount Rushmore, according to Corey.
Ninja, please.
That's what he said.
No.
It
No,
was
he
funny.
said that about Nakamura.
That is
No,
that
was
is
it
an
Nakamura
LOL.
or was it
Because
Rusev?
Nakamura is the U.S. champ. Nakamerica.
Are you sure?
Nakamerica. Yeah, he said he did say that Nakamura.
That was a good line. I forgot about
Yeah,
that
it doesn't matter. Kevin,
I'm
LOL.
going to have to give it to Charlotte's almost nip slip.
almost nip slip.
That had me laughing.
Somebody
as
in
she
the
was,
arena
like,
saw
tucking
it.
back
It
in.
was a for sure nip slip. Somebody got it. We didn't. Somebody got it. You don't think so?
Oh, someone definitely got it. The whole thing looked like it came out. She was like stuffing it back.
LOL for Teddy on the board. He says Kevin thinking Adam is Sierra Ann.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Screw you, Teddy. LOL for me was from Maurice. Daniel Bryan talking about all her struggles and her accolades that she worked so hard to achieve and where she ranks beating and pinning Brie Bella this past Sunday on that list. She said it was the easiest thing she's ever done in her life. And I fucking loved that. It made me laugh. So
You're welcome.
LOL, Teddy's reaction to Kevin. That's from Sierra Ann. Sheamus taking a selfie during the Kofi Cesaro match. That's from Stike. Cesaro started doing that when the bar first formed. They used to do that at ringside. The other one would sit there and broadcast live on Facebook Live while they were wrestling. So that's nothing new. So it's not too bad. And yes, Alex Carter, you did miss Joe. I don't know how, but you did. He was like all sweaty and everything. You should have seen him. What does that mean? Hey, Medine's here, so that means at some point we're gonna have this day in wrestling history. But for now,
Are we? Are you sure about that?
Let's get down and dirty in the mud.
I think that's a maybe.
oh, I missed Mac Attack here.
Who?
Mac Attack just joining us on the board. I missed this, but he said his LOL was Kofi talking about offensive accents. That I missed that. That would have been funny.
That
Because
is
Kofi's
funny.
old shitty generic Jamaican accent. Damn, good one, Mac Attack. Welcome. Which one of you two Yutzes is gonna do?
We're both going in
Both.
the mud.
Oh, you're gonna tag team,
Double dirty.
Eiffel Tower style.
Yeah.
We're not crossing swords, though.
Yeah, finger cuffs never cross swords. And who's kicking it off?
All right, so officials.
It's like heads and tails. Did you flip?
No, we already got it set up.
Oh,
So officials from WWE and Impact apparently met in Stamford last week, and it was beneficial, according to one source. Impact did not comment on the nature of the meeting. However, it was made clear that it was not for sale of the Orlando-based company, as well as attendance not being made by Vince McMahon, so he was not present, nor was Triple H, but members of his team
Wait.
apparently were there.
So let me get this straight. Nobody important was there, but this is relevant. How?
I think, in my opinion, it's relevant because basically WWE's trying to take TNA Impact out of the equation for New Japan and Ring of Honor so that they don't join them.
Well, there were.
Shut up, Rock.
There were those rumors of Chris Jericho possibly doing some Impact work.
Right, he's going to show up.
Been something about that.
Chris Jericho showed up at All In.
He's doing what he
wants. He's been working with NJPW. He has his own cruise. Yeah,
but
Chris Jericho's above the law right now.
Right, but that's the next step to bring him full circle back to WWE by going with Impact. He's got a good friend that does the booking there, and
they were able to show what the Hardys did way back when they were doing the history of the
and
Hardys
AJ as well. They brought back the AJ footage also. But this isn't for more footage, and this is not for the sale of the company either. So it remains to be seen why this meeting is actually made.
They still have not used any of that footage on the network. They have not uploaded it to my knowledge, correct?
I've heard it was uploaded.
I thought I haven't checked, to be honest.
Okay.
But I knew the sale was done. I just don't know. Anyway, my question here is what could possibly be the discussion? I don't see them doing a cross-promotion thing unless it's a, hey, we want to – and this is what I thought about with Pentagon Jr. and mentioned this last night and some other guys. Maybe they're trying to do like they did with CWC because they have this at the Crown Jewel, this World Cup tournament coming up to declare the best in the world. Maybe they are inviting some wrestlers from other companies. Now, Brian and Rob completely shot me down and said that's not fucking happening. No way. But
we won't do that to you.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not reach out to Kata and Kenny Omega and be like, hey, we want you to come do this tournament?
Nah, maybe not them.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying. Cool. Then they go over to Impact. I know probably not Austin Aries, but imagine if they approached Abyss or somebody that's a long-time staple over there. Of what that company does.
The pop that's going to happen is, at home pop.
Right.
Maybe not at the arena itself.
Yeah, there's tons of scenarios where they could put together these little one-off dream matches very similar to what All In did, which was, I think, the big thing of it was here's a bunch of people from different wrestling organizations all on one card for one night. That happens everywhere, whether you realize it or not. Okay, the local person who is a star here in Charlotte sometimes goes to Atlanta and jumps on their card just to boost it a little bit. He's not part of their wrestling organization. He's there as a one-off. Why can't the one-offs happen with the bigger companies? I don't know. What else you got, Medine?
Medine, speaking of dream matches, you should just read the other one that you got.
Go ahead now.
Yeah.
You going to take the rest?
Yeah.
All right, so the rumors are coming up. We have on October 16th in Washington, D.C., Smackdown number 1000.
Hey.
So there have been rumored appearances by The Undertaker, by Edge, and maybe even The Rock. Now, on the official Facebook account of the WWE, they teased a few matches. Of these matches include Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle, AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio, Charlotte Flair versus Michelle McCool, The Bar versus the APA, and Batista versus Samoa Joe. Now, out of those matches, which do you think is most likely to happen?
I could see AJ versus Rey. I don't know if that's where they bring Rey in and where that goes. But out of all of that, I don't think Michelle McCool, Batista. I don't see any of that shit happening.
Batista might not even be. He has no movie work going on right now.
No, and Batista has said he would like one more run in WWE.
He's also criticized them very negatively.
Yeah, he has.
I think Daniel Bryan, Kurt Angle could happen.
Angle is off right now, and he is training to get back into the ring.
It could.
I actually think Flair and McCool is a possibility.
Yeah.
What about
Alex
the Bar
Carter?
and APA? I don't know about that. APA is too old.
Yeah, that I don't see happening.
Yeah, Captain Obvious says, why do you think Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. didn't go to the CWC finals? There's no way that WWE will ever share the talent by putting over non-WWE wrestlers. Here's the thing that I want to say back to him, before, not to cut you off, Medine.
No, go ahead.
But I still don't give a flying fuck about a winner of a match that is amazing. Half the time, people can't remember. We all remember the ladder match between Razor and HBK, but half the time, or half the people, don't remember who actually fucking won that match. Okay, Steamboat and Savage. Most people remember that match. Do you remember that George Animal Steel was involved in the ending? Most people don't. We do. Most people don't. So I think CWC, anything like that, because I still remember how good Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi looked. I know they didn't win, but they were impressive. So I think that's more important than a win or lose. And the exposure that you would get even in a loss, I mean, had to have helped Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr.'s booking power out on the indies. It had to.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's next?
Bang, bang!
So nothing really new here, but Mixed Match Challenge, we had Alexa Bliss removed from her team with Braun Strowman and Ember Moon replacing her. Apparently WWE has announced that they pulled Alexa Bliss because she was complaining of arm numbness.
So this has to be a work.
Following Raw.
Yeah, Medine's convinced it's a work. What do you think, Kevin?
At first, I didn't think it was work because she even put in a submission by Rousey.
She
on
was,
Monday?
and she tapped immediately.
Oh, so I mean, I guess it could be a work. And like you said, maybe she just needs time off.
I feel like it's setting up a Bliss Moon feud at some point towards the end of the Mixed Match Challenge where Bliss takes Moon out, takes her place back alongside Braun. Team Little Big was hilarious last year.
It was. I thought they were the best team.
They were the most entertaining for sure.
And I was looking forward to seeing them go all the way this year.
Hey, everybody's shitting on me, specifically here, Berto.
Really?
He says WWE's game plan of not pushing other guys is no secret. Yeah, no one's suggesting that. He says they could get a payday, but most guys now don't really care about being in the WWE when they're doing fine on the indies. I'm saying if you remember the first One Night Stand, the really good one, they brought a lot of guys back for that one match. Guys that were not WWE, that were not going to be WWE, that had one match and left. Yes, there were other people on there that were part of the roster, yada, yada, and would become part of the roster later on down the road. But they were not part of there. They were signed for one night only. All those legends that were brought out for Raw, they had for Raw 1000. What was it, 25th anniversary, whatever the fuck it was.
Raw 25. Yeah.
Okay, they were only paid for one night. You know, it's common practice, and yes, they don't want to be part of WWE. I still think that the exposure and the power it gives them to book wherever they want on their own. I mean, it would take somebody like, I don't know, Kota Ibushi, or, you know, here in the States, it takes him from being a bottom card to possibly marquee in certain areas. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating it. What do you got? I got the hiccups.
Bang, bang!
I don't know who he is, but Mahabali Shera is no longer in NXT. He was released.
Wasn't that the guy they signed from India?
I don't know. I know he apparently was pretty big in the Indies.
That's funny.
Signed
Indies.
with them. Oh, jeez. Earlier this year in February, never actually appeared on NXT television. He did work several house shows and trained at the Performance Center. No reason was given for his release.
Okay.
Any comments?
Who's released? I wasn't listening.
Mahabali Shera.
It's got to be the guy they signed from India last year. Or either India or maybe from Saudi Arabia.
Well, they signed 4 guys, I thought, from Saudi Arabia. So it's one of them?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Here's the thing, Kevin. New Mud Report rule. If you're going to bring it up, you got to be ready for me to ask a follow-up question and have a fucking answer. I don't even know this guy's name.
He's a big deal.
Is he?
Yeah.
Then tell me who he is.
I don't know who he is.
Okay, so then he's not a big deal.
I thought you said you were a Mark.
Medine, am I crazy for thinking that?
No, I'm laughing because I think I remember maybe like last year you said the same thing to me about a subject, and I did the same thing that he just did. And then after that, I was like, yeah, no, I guess I can't do those kind of things anymore.
I read this headline. It says, family slain by, hedge clippers.
Okay, let's just Google this guy.
Can we find out what now we're going to Google it. So now our audience, podcast people at least can advance.
They've already found out who he is.
To go
He's an
through
Indian professional wrestler.
So they signed him from India last
You
year.
already said that part.
He was known for his time with Impact Wrestling under the ring name Mahabali Shera. So
Is that his same name?
Impact Wrestling guy.
Oh, so he's like the Jinder Mahal outside of WWE. For you.
I guess.
For you.
For you, right.
He looks pretty big.
Does he have roids?
Yeah, definitely. No roid rage, no roid back.
No back knee?
No.
Okay, then maybe.
That's why he's not as good as Jinder.
Bang bang!
Hey, why do you think the Hell in a Cell was red this past Sunday?
I know, because they wanted to bite off TNA Lockdown from a few years ago. Because that's the color of their cell. Or wait, let me guess. Because they wanted it to look like a Target shopping cart. Or no, wait. They wanted it to look like a milk carton.
Do they still make milk cartons?
Not milk carton, the milk crate.
They probably still make milk crates.
Yeah.
They're black.
This is why I never let you guys just
So
talk
according
by
to
yourself.
the WrestleVotes Twitter account, a source, inside source, told them, quote, honestly, with all this 20-year talk about Taker and Foley, I think Vince forgot how old the match was. So we changed it up, like when Mania lost its Roman numerals, just something new. It's good to be the boss.
I read that same article, and until I read that article, and by the way, we have the T-shirt hanging right above you in the studio. I didn't even realize that he dropped the Roman numerals.
What?
I had no fucking clue.
The last one had.
Okay.
Wow, really?
What number did he drop them on?
30 was the last one that had Roman numerals.
Okay.
Did you get that T-shirt off Collar and Elbow?
Do we not call them WrestleMania 31? Do we not call them WrestleMania 32?
We do. Yeah,
okay,
we do.
okay. So then that's what they are, Medine.
Yeah, but
I'm still pissed that they tried to call it WrestleMania 2000 when it was 16. At least that was the year. I mean, but
Y2K was such a big deal back then.
Y2J?
No, Y2K.
And Dracula 2000 was a pretty big movie back then too. You know, Vitamin C.
It's funny because Rob walked in at the appropriate time with the WrestleMania 33 shirt on.
Wow, that's titillating.
That was perfect timing.
What else you got?
He
All
didn't
right,
even know.
let me run through some of these quick. Both Brock Lesnar's return and the non-finish for Hell in a Cell's main event were always the plan, and not last-minute additions or changes, per Wrestling Observer Radio.
So they knew for a long time that this was a bad idea, and they still went with it. Is basically what you're saying.
Pretty much, and it didn't leak. So that's pretty good.
Go away, Baton.
You know, when they release enough dirt sheet shit out there, we all know that they intentionally release shit that's not true to cover up shit that is true that got leaked. Medine's clapping for himself. What else you got?
According to Dave Meltzer, Becky Lynch's SmackDown Women's title win at Hell in the Cell, the original plan, not the one that actually played out, the original plan was to, quote, slowly turn Charlotte babyface during the match before Becky Lynch screwed her and beat her for the title. That's not how it played out, but apparently Becky was supposed to screw her somehow.
That's good that it didn't come out that way.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. This segment's dragging. Do we have anything good on the left on the Mud Report?
A report from Barn Burners Fight Up podcast is that WWE is talking to Chris Cyborg about facing Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35.
I did hear that.
Who's Chris Cyborg?
That's the
UFC.
The female chick that's like badass.
Yeah,
They never actually fought in the UFC.
For someone like you, she's like really hot.
You're fired.
Ninja, please.
She's actually open to the idea. They interviewed her on TMZ Sports, and she said something to the effect of, well, you know, we never fought in UFC. It would be interesting to see what it would happen in the WWE ring. So, I don't know. I don't like the idea of that, personally.
I like Kevin's idea. The way he locks the girl down is just he goes out and adopts a dog with her. That way, you know, he can make sure that he hangs on
My
to her without
girlfriend
having
would
to like
whip
marry.
your ass.
Yeah,
have
she probably can with
Hey.
my ass. I know you can't.
I have two. I put you through a table, and I'll do it again.
With the help of two others, one of which fell down and sold it better than me.
I have two more.
It's
Stone
true.
Age Steve Awesome.
It's true.
Check the tape, motherfuckers.
I have two
Check
more,
the
and these
tape.
are extra muddy.
I was there.
I was there.
Bang bang me.
What? I wanna,
Wow, you guys need a room for that.
I'm ready to fucking move the
Hey,
fuck on.
Did you
I've
know?
already gone.
Did you know that Zelina Vega appeared on Lillian Garcia's podcast recently, and, among other things discussed, her alleged relationship with Andrade Cien Almas was talked about.
No.
Okay, so is she getting some?
But fear
No.
not, as Zelina officially quelled those rumors by saying, quote, once I got there, Andrade Cien Almas and I just clicked. I feel like now it's funny because people are like, oh my God, they are together. But he's like my brother. We fight like brother and sister. It's so funny.
You know what? This is like Joey on Friends. You know what he said about actors? When there's no chemistry on screen, it's because they're fucking in real life. So they have good chemistry because they actually aren't. That's my final.
Isn't Alistair
thought on-
banging it?
Who cares?
That's what I heard.
I had one more. It's a good one.
You had one more.
It's a good one.
Okay, if it was any good, why the fuck didn't you put it up higher?
Because I want to
This
end
is
with
so
some.
bad. I'm ready to move on. I am
Hey,
bored,
listen to
and I'm
this.
the
Listen to
host of the
this.
show.
Ready?
You've drug it to a halt with your nonsense.
Former WWE diva Tammy Stitch, otherwise known as Sunny, supposedly is set to be paroled from the Carbon County Correctional Facility in Pennsylvania, where she's currently being held. She's been there for around 7 months after being moved from a
So
correctional
this is a
facility in New Jersey.
7-month-old story that you're making me.
No,
oh
she's
my God.
set to be paroled.
We have waited weeks, Kevin, to get the goddamn This Day in Wrestling History back on the show, and you are halting it for this bullshit.
It's just another
She
couple
might.
seconds.
Who knows, maybe.
This day in wrestling history.
All right, I think Teddy's still here. Kevin tried to run him off.
How dare you mute me?
Oh, you were uninvited to the wedding, by the way, Kevin. Go ahead, Medine.
Good, I'll wear
Where's my
something
Where's my
nicer than all
intro?
of you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought I gave it to you. Oh, the most must-play trivia segment in MOWP history. I'm sorry I forgot it because it's been so fucking long since you've been here. That
I was confused.
I mean, I almost brought
Hey,
Bob
Bob,
back.
what's going on?
Yeah, I almost brought Bob back as a co-host. Is how long you've been gone. Can't rely on the shit in the middle.
I like Bob.
I am the best on the mic. Thank you, Mika Meach. Everybody already knows that.
All right,
Medine.
we ready?
Yeah, we're waiting on you as usual.
All
I'm
right,
just
bro.
filling dead air.
Perfect. Who beat who? John Morrison or Alberto Del Rio?
I feel like you asked us this one like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Whenever the last time we had this,
No.
I feel like it
The
was
last one, I can tell you what the last
Johnny
one.
Alberto.
Mundo. I'm gonna go with Johnny Mundo, and Kevin's going with Berto on the board. Bang Bus Del Rio, and
The last,
Hashtag Hoth.
just so you know, the last one that I did was Big Show Mark Henry.
And Berto and Double G Gaming just says he wants to see a segment that doesn't end up as a shitstorm. Well, then I shouldn't book Kevin, is what you're saying. Everybody's saying Alberto on board, agreeing with Kevin. What's the answer, Medine?
The answer is Alberto Del Rio.
Man, Adam, you are so dumb.
Well, I mean, once I saw the board said that, I probably thought I was wrong. But, I mean, still, Kevin.
Why do I get that? I got it right. Give me coins.
Go on.
I'm
Let's
going
go.
for the Roddy, baby.
All right. How long did it take? Closest without going over.
Come on, let's go.
12 minutes and 36 seconds.
12 minutes and 36 seconds is what Kevin's going with. I am going to go outside of the box, Medine. I'm going to guess 421. On the board, Teddy's guessing 420. That's completely worthless guess. That's so stupid that you'd even guess that right after I said 421. 11:55 for Anaconda Vice. I'm not going to wait for the rest of the people, but Bangbus says he knows John Morrison can only last 6 minutes. Stike 12:11. What do you got? 10 minutes for Captain Obvious. 10 flat.
You guys were very generous on this one. The answer is 49 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So the closest without going over is nobody. And, yep. Good for you, Medine.
I love when I do that.
Yeah, you're
All right.
hilarious. You waited 3 weeks to shit on us. Good job.
49 seconds.
All right. There were 7 matches total that night. How many of them were televised?
How many matches were televised of the 7? So you're counting potential pre-show and dark show and a dark match as well. Everything's counted in this. And then to get your 7.
5.
To get your 7. Everything is counted. Pre-show.
4.
Okay.
4.
I'm going to say 6. Because that means just the dark match was missed, Kevin. Because you're stupid.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a fun question.
All right, Medine, what's the answer? I got answers all over the place on the board. I'll just say who's right because nobody. From now on, the board, if they don't guess right, I'm not going to mention them. Fuck them. No more buzzes for the board. You either get this or you get nothing.
I think there was like 4.20.
Nobody cares what you think. It's time for the answer.
The answer, out of 7 matches total, there were 5 televised matches.
Yep, just what I said, 5.
No,
All
you
right.
actually changed it to 4.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
you
have
did.
to. it doesn't
Juan,
matter.
Captain Obvious,
Buzz
Bang
him.
Bus. You guys all get this. Kevin gets this.
You're fired.
Next, Medine.
In what year did this take place? Was it 2011, 2012, or neither?
Neither.
Oh, 11. I was going to guess neither, but I'm smarter than you, so I chose the correct answer.
Sure. What is it, Medine? I'm not reading the board unless they get it right, so.
The answer is 2011.
Yes!
Kevin's doing well. I don't like it. Good thing he didn't get a sweep. 2012 for Teddy and Bang
wow.
Bus. They suck, too. The rest of the board said neither. Captain Obvious was way off as well.
Was I the only one who got that one right?
Yeah, and Teddy wants to point out, you said 4, Kevin. You're an idiot. You can't claim that as being right.
I said 4.20.
I love that person who says, okay, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Usual Suspects. I saw the movie, and at the beginning of the movie, I took my guess at Kaiser Soze, and I guessed that it was Kevin Spacey. However, I don't claim credit like I figured out the movie because by the end of the film, I had convinced myself it was not Kevin Spacey. So, Kevin, you went your final answer you're not a Slumdog Millionaire. Your final answer is 4. They ain't paying out, so you might need to adopt another dog. What do you got, Medine?
I said 5, and everybody was saying 5.
Check the tape.
You did say 5, and then you changed
Check
it.
the tape, rewind it to where I say 5, and then fast forward it because you've heard everything you need to hear.
No.
All right, the last question.
And unicorns exist, Kevin.
This took place in the state of Ohio. In what city? Was it Cleveland, Canton, or Cincinnati?
I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Canton.
Canton, it's not football.
Canton.
It's not.
Canton.
They've had Raw there before, though.
I like it.
Yeah, but they've also had it in Cleveland a lot because it's
rocks.
closer and there. McLovin is the board's new name for you, Kevin. I just want you to know. I think McLovin was too cool to call Kevin McLovin. What's the answer, Mr. Medine?
The answer is Cleveland, Ohio.
Captain Obvious, Teddy, Anaconda Vice, all get it. Did shit in the middle get it? No, he said Canton.
No, what
He
did
sure
you
did.
say?
I didn't get it right either, but I haven't gotten any right tonight. I've literally.
You went over?
Yeah, I'm an over. Check the tape. I'm not going to say I changed my answer and try and pretend my
Boy.
batting average is 300 like Kevin when it's
Boy,
really
you dumb.
not even
He's under
70.
he's under the Mendoza line.
Yeah, he's definitely he's out there on a raft. What do you got?
I love winning.
I love that the Mexican laughed or Puerto Rican, whatever we call him.
I got
this
the
week.
fucking joke.
Right.
Nobody else got the joke.
Kevin didn't get it. Is that it?
That is it.
Kevin did better than me. What happens for him?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, Kevin, you suck.
Nothing has to be something.
Mm-hmm. Is that it, Medine? We're done. You don't
We're done
have
with
anything.
that game. Yeah, we're done with that
All
game.
right.
Sorry,
This is
but-
final thoughts. Final thoughts. Okay. This will be. I'm not going to say this again after tonight, but I hate to beat a dead horse. What the fuck are you guys doing on Mondays? 3 hours of shit. Most of it recap. Not a goddamn thing anyone cares to watch or know. And then suddenly Tuesdays comes on, and we know how to open a show. We know how to close a show. We know how to build middles. We know how to build characters. We know how to build rivalries. We know how to give TV time to some people that aren't involved in these rivalries. There's no reason that AJ fought Almas. He just did because that's kind of attitude era booking. The the guy that's in a feud. I'm feuding with Kevin, so tonight I'm going to fight Medine, and Kevin's going to come out and attack. Next week, Kevin's going to fight Medine, and I'm going to come out and attack. Medine's just a prop. He'll go away after those 2 encounters, and maybe we'll bring out another person to feature. Maybe we'll do tag matches. You know, tried and true works, simple works, and you're building on feuds that have been long in the making on SmackDown, where even longer has been put into the feuds on Raw, and nothing comes out of them. And so I like the new format as we're going to evolve for Mondays and not cover as much. We're going to start putting a lot of new stuff together, as you saw on Sunday with our green screen effects. We're going to have a lot of fun with that and do a lot of little clips on YouTube exclusives. Don't worry. If we include Kevin, we will make him change his shirt.
Yeah, wear a green shirt.
No,
All
I don't
you'll
care.
see is this beautiful mug.
Just don't wear anything with the Patriots logo on it, and I'll be good.
You want to just go shirtless?
Yeah, we're going to, cover his head. We'll get one of Medine's hoods, something like that. If we use
I'll
you,
go
Kevin.
Marshall Mathers.
Medine, what's your final thought now that you're finally back?
If you're lucky, maybe I'll come back next week.
Ooh. Final thoughts for Stike. He says good night. Final thoughts for Juan. He says, can we get Rob back? Get Rob back for what?
Hey, Vice, send me that address for the
Hey,
wedding.
that's a good segue to my final thought since you forgot about me.
Final thought, can you fire Kevin from the Mud Report?
My Mud
that's
Report
from the
is just
board.
long because I actually look up and I research everything,
okay.
including tweets.
You did too much.
Okay.
It was shortened it down a little bit.
Let me just say, I covered a lawsuit last night for WWE, and Rob gave me the right whatever it was criticism that I needed to get it right.
There's
and he
Rob.
said,
Hey, I got a
take the
problem with
report
you.
and act like it's a 4th grader going to read it. And that's how I gave the details. You just drone on about nothing, and you act like these are important details, and I shouldn't cut you off for them, but they're not. What?
I heard I was requested.
You're always requested, Robert.
Yeah,
That's because my final thought has a problem with you.
Juan said, "Bring back Rob."
Yeah.
Ask and you shall so receive.
Hi, Juan.
Hey, Juan, what did you want?
I'm
You
gonna
made
get
him come back.
I'm gonna get some biscuits and put some butter on them.
You've been watching Raw for way too long.
Hey, I think he
I don't
wanted,
watch Raw anymore. I just turn it
maybe
on.
Juan wanted Rob on the show because all the weight Juan has lost, Rob has gained.
I have. I found it. I found it in the floods.
Yeah, it jumped over time zones. Got
The
to
Florence
us.
15.
The Florence 15. The Florence meme.
You said tonight that the
Hurricane.
heavyweight champion should always be the main event.
Yes.
And that's exactly what Raw does, and that's why it sucks, because you always
That's
have Roman
totally.
Reigns
That's absolutely not true.
in the main event.
Well,
and that's the one thing that SmackDown
he just got
not
the
one
universal.
thing,
He
but
just
one
got
of
the
best
universal
things.
title. Just got the title.
He doesn't have to
Rob
be
is on the
main
show
event.
for a minute, and you want to bring up stuff that's not even true.
Look, if you look at the,
That's exactly what he said.
No.
Seth and Dolph have closed the show out. The women have closed the show out on Raw. It's not always.
It's
the
always
champ.
the
You're gonna
same.
have the champ
It's
on
always
in a
Roman
match.
Reigns.
The champ needs to be in the final match.
That's
Sorry.
it's just not true at all.
Unless
In
you have
SmackDown,
unless you have somebody of just staggering stature like Taker, circa 5 years ago. If he shows up, then he's main event.
for someone who's always kissing the ass of the women's division, I'm surprised that you're not saying, well, you know what, it's nice that they're finally letting the
now
women
hold on. Now
headline.
slow your fucking roll, because first I've said that about 30 fucking times to this douche next to me. But second, I'm okay with tonight.
You guys can talk all night if you want.
I made the comment about AJ needed to be the main event when his match was going. But
see you guys
tomorrow. This is like the dark match.
but it's okay because it was the women's championship that was the final match, the final segment. So that's okay. It was still a champion, an upper champion, upper echelon.
I wasn't listening at all, but according to Juan, you make the show better.
Oh, well, good. Wish you fuckers would say that stuff to me more often. You're always so mean to me. Fuck you, Board.
It's only Juan that thinks that.
Oh,
everybody else hates you.
Fuck
Nobody
Berto.
likes you.
Fuck you, Berto.
Yeah, everybody hates you.
That's not true.
You know what?
I don't.
Nobody likes my children. Don't even like you, Kevin.
That's because you made me scare your daughter today when I had to walk in your house because no one answered the
Because
door.
she's never seen somebody so ugly.
What?
Daddy, he's wearing the same shirt. He scares me.
It's true.
It's damn true.
Yeah. Anyway,
This is from Banana Republic.
I got nothing else to say. Tune in next time.
Trump?
Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Smackdown Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.